27-24 victory over Eastern Michigan at home this past weekend. Can you talk a little bit about that home win and then on the road for the next 2 weeks, starting this week with Bowling Green?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a good win. You got to win a lot of types of games, and we knew what we were up against. I think going into the game is one of the best tackling teams that we've seen, and they've held everybody low. They held us low. You know, they caused confusion. They get the ball out. You know, luckily we put the ball on the ground too many times. We only lost one of them. You know, but they held us low. I thought our defense played great. You know, we got them into the fourth quarter. We just kept sticking with our game plan, and we found a way to win. You know, and so I was proud of the way they played, and we learned a lot. And there's nothing better than having a bunch of things that you need to fix and a bunch of ways you think you can get better, and to walk away with the win. And it's made practice great this week because we still got a chip on our shoulder because I don't think we're playing as well as we need to yet, and I think the players feel that way. And so we're excited to get back out there again.
And just looking ahead a little bit to Bowling Green, what do they bring to the table?
Man, they can score. You know, that offense is electric, and they score fast. So we'll have a challenge with us. Defensively, they run a lot of stuff. You know, I think Coach Pelini does a good job of giving you multiple looks and multiple coverage and trying to figure out who's reading what. It's not a standard look defense that you're used to seeing. So so we're trying to figure out where's the best ways to attack them. You know, I think their interior defensive lineman, number 93, is about as good of a D tackle as we've seen. He's a good player, and they got some really athletic corners, and so they're gonna make us earn it. You know, I know it was 31-28 in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes left against Toledo. You know, and so we got to play a good game. We got to be a better version of us next time we take the field, no matter who we play. You know, and we're going down there. I don't know if it's their homecoming. Someone told me it was. So it's going to be tough on the road, and we got to find a way to win.
How does your game plan, if at all, change when you face a team that you know is going to be desperate? They're 1-5, they're 0-2 in the MAC. What do you say to your team when you're facing a team that you know is probably going to come out incredibly hungry?
Yeah, no doubt. You really don't change much. I think you call the game plan that you think is best, whether you're right or wrong. You know, I start last week with myself. You know, I look at when did I get aggressive? Did I wait too long to get aggressive? You always look at, you know, I start everything with the quarterback. This was not a game last week that I wanted to sit John back there. He broke his collarbone against this team last year. 92 got a good lick on him. It was the play of the game, in my opinion. John threw it to Gio in between three dudes and took a shot. I mean, it was the same hit he took last year. Got back up, and so it was kind of a fine line of me figuring out how many times do I want to drop John back versus, you know, how conservative versus aggressive do you want to be? And that was last week's game plan, you know. So this week, you know, you look at them and you got to figure out what their plan's going to be early, how they're going to stop the run, how they're going to, you know, defend a couple of our speed guys on the edges. They'll have a plan, and as soon as you figure it out, you got to start attacking. You know, I got to figure it out fast. I do think, you know, I'm hoping our O-line can do a good job of giving John time, but I don't think. I think they're going to come out firing for a lot of reasons, you know. But I think we got to come out firing too. And I control that a lot of times by how I call it and how aggressive I am. And there's certain games I've gone into aggressively. Certain games I haven't, you know, and that's by design. And then I kick myself the next day for it either way. Either if I was too conservative, too aggressive. If I'm too aggressive, we're going to throw a bunch of picks, you know. So it's, you know, you're just trying to find that happy medium, and you're putting your guys in a position to keep your quarterback healthy, win a game, get out of there. You know, other times you got to say we're all in. You know, so we're assuming they're going to be all in. We got to get out there early, figure out what their plan's going to be against us, and then get to attacking whatever way we think is going to give us the best chance. You know, but they've scored on. I mean, you look on the film and it's 10-0 against Oregon. You know, now Oregon woke up and came back and won that game, obviously, but they can score. You know, I know that offense can score, so they're gonna pull out all the stops on homecoming. So it's gonna be a battle, and we're on the road.
Coach, you talked about your team being a better version of itself. What specifically, what area do you think that would be the biggest show?
You want that list alphabetically, or there's a lot. I mean, we need to have less penalties. You know what I mean? Ones that we can control. There were some that whether I agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. We send those in, we figure those out. There are some ones that hurt us that we can't be overcoming our own penalties. We misaligned once, the running back didn't take the field once. So we had some self-induced penalties. We put the ball on the ground. We threw an interception. Those are things we have to fix. You know, we have to be a little bit more patient at quarterback sometimes. You know, I need to call a better game. We have to get more elevation on the kick when we had one blocked. You know, so there's a whole bunch of we got to get some interceptions. We're in position to make a couple, and we just didn't come down with the play. You know, as well as our defense played, I think they could have played better. You know, and so there's a laundry list of things that we can do better. We need more push up front. You know, and we need to do a better job with our communication from the sideline to the field. The one thing we did do a good job of is on the sideline, the communication was great. I mean, with John and Bogan and Bellamy just talking through the things they were doing and things, so we got better. I thought our fourth quarter was pretty good. We got the ball twice, scored twice. Other than the last drive, we were just trying to run it out. You know, we found our rhythm. We need to find it faster. You know, and so it's good. Like I said, it's great to have tons of things to go to work on when you just won a game, you know, and that's what today was. Today was a really good practice. We were on point today, and the guys played hard, and they have an edge to them, and we're going to need that to win a road game.
It looked like Mark Brooks hurt his left knee. Do you update us?
Yeah, he'll be out for this week. I think the MRI will be read today, so I'm going to know more today. I know he'll be out this week. And probably, I'm guessing, at least 3 to 4 weeks. I don't know if it's surgical or not, you know, but I don't think he'll be available this week. And him and Novo have been splitting reps. You know, Novo started every single game last year, so ironically, you know, that's a position that we have a guy who's a starter, you know, coming that's stepping in, and they've been splitting reps throughout the season. And we did play Brooks more this game because of 92 Crosby. Because he's so quick, and Brooks is real athletic, and he did a good job on him. You know, it literally was, I think, our second to last play that he got hit. It was a clean hit. It was a good hit. It just didn't see him coming. You know, and so we'll find out more today when the doc comes in.
Can you talk about how Novo has bounced back from that season-ending broken leg?
Yeah, and it was one of those tough ones, because it was one of those, like, you have surgery and they put something in your leg or some, like, fish wire or whatever, and then, like, 3 months later you got to have that removed, or they take the screws out, or like it's a double surgery process to get it to heal right, and it did. And it's been frustrating for him because he hasn't moved. You know, when he came back in early August, he wasn't moving great, and then he's just literally been getting better and better. And I forget what game it was. It might have been the Miami game that he played more than Brooks, you know, just because his drives were longer. They just happened to be longer than the ones that Brooks was in, because we rotated him every series. Because now he's moving great, you know, but then Brooks has done such a good job. Like, what do you do, you know? And so it's one of the reasons we rotate Doyle so much. It's kind of the same thing happened to Doyle. He got out, Caliendo went in and left guard and has never looked back, but we still kind of try to rotate Doyle in because he's a starter, you know? So so it's been great, because the last 3 weeks, really last month, he's been fine. It's just Brooks has done such a good job, you know. We still have rotated him, and that's why you do it. So when something like this happens, we got a guy who's not only played 12 games, but played in every game this year, and he's a senior, and you know, hopefully you don't miss a beat.
Can you talk a little bit more about the offensive line in general, not giving up, I think, maybe one sack in the next 4 games?
They're doing it. Yeah, they're doing two things. They're doing. One is we're running the ball well. I mean, whether the yards, like, we are physical at the line of scrimmage. People are having to load the box, and we're also getting people to run sideways because we're running more outside zone than we used to, and so it's hurting people's pass rush, number one, and they're doing a great job in pass rush. John's doing a great job of getting rid of the ball on time. He's not holding it, and he's not hesitating. Well, he did a couple times, which he hadn't done in a couple weeks, which I got on him for today. And but they're an unbelievable unit. I mean, they really make us go. you know, because they dictate the defense. The defense has to choose, are we going to give them numbers in the box or not? You know, we have 6 to block. Are they going to give us 6 in the box or 7 or 8? And as soon as they start giving us 7 or 8, it should be Bird and D should have a heck of a day with Drake and all those guys and Gio. And so so they really are they're the thing that make our offense go. Because if they couldn't push people around and handle all the different fronts we're getting and the stunts and blitzes, you know, John Kenoy reads them like a book. I mean, he comes to the sideline and he's calm and says, "Coach, they're doing this. Let's make this adjustment." And sure, I told John today, John's 2 for 2. Kenoy is 2 for 2 with 2 touchdowns in his calls. You know, he called another touchdown this week, and I tried to trump him. I didn't feel good about the play he wanted to run. He's like, "No, Coach, this will work for the second week in a row." I'm like, "All right, let's go." You know, he convinced the whole huddle, and boom, touchdown. So it's like having another coach out there, and same way with Wassink. So it's great to have those type of guys out there that the guys respect, and neither one of those guys are an outwardly boisterous person. They're kind of a quiet people, but we've tried to build an environment within the team that you're comfortable talking, especially when you have experience and knowledge like they do. And so they're talking a lot more in the huddle, and they're not rah-rah guys. They're just information guys, and they have suggestions, and they're normally educated suggestions, you know, and it's making us better.
Along those lines, how often, what percentage of the time would you say that John Wassink checks out the play that you call it?
This week, he only did it twice. He saved a play for us, which we called again later. It didn't work later anyway. And then, like Georgia State, he saved it the first time, and it was a touchdown the second time. He saved it because we didn't get the coverage we wanted. And then the next time it didn't work anyway. But he did it 2 or 3 times this game. It depends on the game and the multiple looks. This game he's going to be involved in. They're going to give us multiple looks. Some plays we like into it, some plays we don't. So he's going to have to be more active this game. Whereas Eastern, we knew where they were going to line up, how they were going to line up. So John didn't have as much on his plate. You know, really only when I got really aggressive did he have to get us out of plays. But so we didn't have to. Last week's defense didn't call on him doing it a ton. Other times I mean, he has decisions, 2, 3, 4 decisions on every play anyway, you know, pre-snap, post-snap decisions. But as far as totally changing plays, he does it, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, 10%, you know, of the time he's having to get us in or out of something, or change a protection, or keep a guy in, or make a quick adjustment on a route, you know. And he does it comfortably, and he's done a good job.
I'm all for political correctness, but
Peace.
Look at the stats. Bowling Green's been bad against the run. Is this a game where Levante and Jamari lick their chops?
Man, I hope so. I mean, people would say the same thing about Eastern. That didn't work out so well. You know, so we gotta find a way that, because everything's for us, everything starts with the run. You know, is how can we run the ball, and how have teams run the ball on them, and they're not really big up front. They got, I think their middle linebacker, 55, is a really good player. 93 is a really good player. So we're always going to run the ball, you know. The thing for them is they got to break tackles, and if we can break one tackle, then not many people are going to catch them. I don't care who we're playing, you know. So, you know, PTR, pound the rock, that's going to be our saying, whether we're playing a team that's giving up 500 yards passing or 500 yards rushing, you know. So we're going to go into the game thinking, where can we run it? And then how does that set up our down the field stuff, like we always do, you know? And so, you know, I don't know if they licked their I mean, I think they're still upset. Jamari jumped off sides, you know, and it was funny offensively, you know, trying to find a player of the game, you know, because it was like, hey, I don't know if you noticed, D. Eskridge blocked on the edges about as good as I've ever seen a receiver block. I mean, he was unbelievable out there. And then he made that catch down the sideline, but then he got a personal foul, and he lined up wrong once. And then Bellamy, I thought, had an edge to him the whole game, playing hard, made an unbelievable catch, but he fumbled the ball. You know what I mean? So we gave it to Luke Juriga because he was steady Eddie the whole game. So we had some really great performances, but we have to work on our focus. That was our goal today, is everybody had 1 or 2 plays. John had one, Bellamy had one, Chase Brown had one, you know, Bird had one, and those stop drives, you know. And so if we can clean those things up, then they'll have a chance to have an explosive day, you know. And But I'm sure they're excited because they know I'm going to hand it to them a lot anyway. I'm going to make sure they get their touches.
You touched on it, I know, after the game Saturday, but just more on your defense. When you watch the film, how good were they watching it the second time?
Whew, they were great. I mean, they were flying around, making plays. That third and fourth down stop was huge after our fumble. You know, that hit that Corvin Moment made on Power on 3rd and 1. I mean, that was like a great hit. I mean, physical, textbook tackle. I thought they got after the quarterback. The one thing that was most fun about watching our defense this week is they were having a blast out there. I mean, the celebrations after hitting the quarterback or chasing him around because he was running all over the place, you know. They had fun playing together. They made plays. They stayed on top of receivers, which was our goal. They got the ball back to us once. I'd like more, but the ball came out 4 times. They only recovered 1. But I just thought they were playing. You can see that they're comfortable. You know what I mean? I thought Tranquil played his best game. He had a ton of tackles. They're checking different things back there. I thought we didn't allow the quarterbacks to be comfortable. It's hard to get ready for 2 quarterbacks in one game, especially as different as they were, you know? And so yeah, it was exciting to see. And it was great because they did have some touchdown drives. But it didn't affect them. And one didn't turn into 3 in a row. It was they'd get one, and then we'd stop them, and then they'd get one, and then we ran into the kicker, you know. So they didn't let one thing turn into another, which I was proud of, and they stopped the run like that's the goal. We're gonna stop the run, make you throw it, and I thought they did a great job. And I think they're building confidence, and we're gonna need it, you know, as we move forward.
We're going to hear from Ali in just a few minutes. Can you tell us about the growth that he's had since coming to the program?
Unbelievable how, I mean, our big question is when we get into some of our multiple fronts, you know, was how's Ali going to handle himself in there when he's, you know, when we move him down into the B gap and he's basically going to be a 3 technique and 2 300-pound dudes try to double team him on a power, which happened, and Ali didn't move. You know, it was. I mean, I enjoyed watching it because that's 600 pounds coming at you, and Ali did not move one bit. I mean, he held the double team, held the point on that power, and it was impressive. You know, and we know how fast he is and how he can get after quarterbacks, and we're still working on things like don't get your eyes in the backfield. I don't know if you're in here and listening. I hope you're hearing me. But I mean, talk about an athletic person. You know, fast, quick, strong, plays with his hands. You know, when we got him, sometimes we bring him in and put him on a guard, it's almost a mismatch because his short area quickness is so good. He's becoming more of a technician, you know, which is good, and he's just going to continue. Him and Holly, watching them grow together is so much fun because you see it on the field. You see how the consistent pressure that they're getting by doing what they've been taught, and it's getting drilled into them, and once you get them technique-wise playing right, then their athleticism comes out because they're in the right place and they're getting the guy on his heels. And with both those guys, it's fun to watch them. I see them in the backfield. They're always the ones running around the pile, you know. And so it was because that was the one thing I'd tell you about that game, and we knew it going in, and we talked about it. That was a physical football game that we played. That was a man's game. We knew it was going to be that way. I sent the kids, the travel team, to the pool on Monday instead of lifting to get their bodies back because that was a real live grudge match. And I knew it was going to be that way. And there's going to be a couple more of those coming up on our schedule. We have to be able to play games like that where they want to make it a physical hitting game. And we had a ton of big hits on defense, which was fun to watch. They had some big hits too. It was physical. So I was proud of the way they matched their intensity, and we won a game that way.
Any more questions for Coach?
You know what next week is? Do you say anything to them about not looking ahead? Do they police that themselves, or is it just a non-issue in general?
Central. Yeah. I'm really one game. I mean, really, it's like what's today? What's in the next hour? This is a big game. I mean, for us, any road game, and then the next one's going to be a road game at Central, which will be a big one. You know, I just have such a chip on my shoulder about the way we played and some of the sloppiness right now that we don't even talk about it. We talk about this game and what we have to do to get better, and because it is about us. You know, we have to get ourselves playing at a good enough level that we can we can make a run. You know, every week we're playing a MAC championship game this weekend, because if you don't win it, you're not going to win the MAC championship. I mean, every single game at this point on matters, and so this is the one. This is the MAC championship this week, and we got to win it if you want to keep moving on. You know, it's like a single elimination tournament, and we have to play better. So we know we've been a very good fourth quarter team this year, even starting back to Syracuse, and we know we'll be good if we get in those situations. But I'd like to play good for 4 quarters, for a change on all 3 sides, and we've done it at different times on all phases. And hopefully we're just continuing talking about our growth. It's one of our core values, is just continuous growth, and it's fun to watch the defense grow right now, and special teams is getting better, and offense we need to get better, and when they all come together, you know, we can be hard out, you know, and that's the goal.
Coach, how did you feel about the turnout, like the crowd size?
It was awesome. You know, I'm dialed. I mean, I saw that there were a ton of people. It was loud. You know, our kids feed off that. You know, and so I mean, that is our environment. You know, I mean, that's the one I remember playing in. The place is loud, raucous, and so it's, especially when you've been away for a couple weeks, it was refreshing. You know, to have them behind us, and to get a win, and to have the '88 team there, and Willie Barris, you know, his retirement ceremony. It was a great day. But we had to take. I kept telling our guys. I told them about everything going on, just to make them aware of everything that was going on. I said, but they all came here to watch you win a game. Period. I mean, it's great that you know what's going on, but if you don't win a game, none of it matters. And so we really focus more on doing our job of this. We need to win the game, and then we can be all excited about everything that happened this weekend. But they all expect us to do our job, you know. And the crowd did their job, and the guys came out and got the job done.
Going back to the '88 team, like, how did the team feel about that? And how about you?
Say it again?
How did your team feel about having the '88 team?
Oh, it was exciting. You know, we talked about the team, and we know a couple guys, Creeker and Lillard, and we have some connection to that '88 team, and so we talked about how they were coming back. Coach Moldy came out to our Coach Moldy recruited me, and he was the coach of that '88 team. He was back at our practice on Friday. I had him speak to the team. So there's tons of connections, and he talked about that '88 team and what made them special, and their chemistry and the way they played together was a very unique thing, and that's how we're trying to replicate that. You know, you tried that every year, but I feel like we have a pretty good chemistry in our team right now, you know, and the support from offense, defense, special teams. It's a lot of fun to be around them, and so we're trying to build off that. So we kind of use that as a parallel, and I know they had a blast together, all those guys telling stories, and our job was simple, as we had to take care of our business. So they would call it one of the greatest weekends ever, because if you don't win, it would have been great, but we wouldn't have done our part of the puzzle, you know. So it was exciting.
If you could just talk a little bit about the defensive performance last week and the victory over Eastern Michigan, and then look ahead a little bit to maybe some challenges that Bowling Green's offense will present.
Well, last week I felt like defensively we swarmed the ball, you know, ran to the football, which we were practicing all week. So I felt like, you know, it translated to the field. Next week, you know, starts off with stopping the run. So first thing we got to do is stop the run, and then after that, if we stop the run, we go have fun and chase the quarterback.
Ali, at the beginning of the year, you were recognized by, I think it was Phil Steele and some other people as being an all-MAC player. I think it was second team, whatever it was. You're really starting to get some recognition around the conference. People know who you are. Can you talk about that, and you know, how it motivates you to be better?
I mean, definitely. If my name's on something, I got to live up to it, I guess. You know, got to play hard, play fast, but you know, yeah.
The defensive line starters, a pretty young group, only one senior there with Wesley French. But I guess, can you talk about how they've kind of grown, or you know, where you think you guys are at right now?
Right now, we've just been progressing every single week because we are a young group. You know, take practice serious. We play hard in practice, and we translate it to the game. So.
Bowling Green has had 13 scoring drives, 10 plays or more, tied for most of the nation. That's a long time to be out on the field.
Right.
How does that take a toll on the defense? You know, obviously, the idea is to stop them, but those are long drives. Does that help, or how does that affect you guys?
I mean, it really shouldn't, because what we do in practice is run to the football every day. We do the packer drill condition. You know, we should be ready for that. Should be ready for template drives and whatnot.
What would you say?
Go ahead, Patrick.
What would you say have been some of the keys for you making that successful jump from freshman year contributor to big time contributor?
Definitely working hard all winter, all summer, but then taking coaching and learning the game. So it's the game slowing down for me, so it's getting better.
Can you talk about the recruiting process for you, and you know, how you ended up in Kalamazoo, and if you're happy that you're here?
I'm definitely happy to be here. Always a great day to be a Bronco. My recruiting process kind of went slow. I had an offer from Eastern Michigan. I was committed there. I got a late offer from Western, decommitted, came to Western Michigan, but definitely felt like Western felt more home for me. More opportunities academically and football-wise. So.
You're 1-4 straight. You're 2-0 in the back. Generally, in that locker room, where's the confidence level?
Confidence level. I mean, we are a very confident team. You know, we all get along with each other, so you know it makes us better as an offense as well, defense as well. We translate back and forth, so I feel like we're feeling good, 2-0.
Ali, Ralph Holly was Mac West defensive player of the week.
Yeah.
Obviously, that had a lot to do with the whole defensive line. You guys have a little competition within the defense. Does Coach Esposito kind of say, hey, we expect this out of you, or
I mean,
the boys?
It's not really a competition. It's more of we're all having fun. We're all having fun playing together, I feel like. But this week, I'll definitely put some pressure on Ralph. I'll tell him, me and him both came in the same year. I'll get after him this week. So he had a great week last week. He was balling. So.